Nsem-Pii TV. Your mom and boss for you. I think say Obia Nsem-Pii TV.
Entrepreneurship maybe.
Nsem-Pii. Yeah, you ask good questions. I hope sir you continue with your good questions.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
For my memoir craba, na memoir hansa mo ajo amo achi if I brand Nsem-Pii TV so that the person obeji bre pra na me no mi no ya hwe ana yetie news a e free NDC amonyako na so yeba na ni nyina afa contract bi eboboba any scandal bi a di kan kra $1.7 million be ya funny baby nsem akwa kopi baby a o say ye hwe ni na ma memfa won chance ye onze tama na MPP aban na na rodan kwakufa no ni Dr. Mubawumia ewo aban mu no ade ba ko e bai pa ne se ana ebeto dwa pa ne se NDC for a propaganda bebre wo radio so ni TV so mekaye na omoye program be friend NDC 360 and NDC 360 no na ya wada nwumre bia o say bon se sami dem fi ko ho ebia na feles fufusu kwa cheko ebia na kwamena minta candle bi wo na Okudzeto ablakwa anytime be mo be ko bia no enema bi no mo de kotudwa na enema mo de kotudwa no aya omo bona na do dan kwakufu ni Dr. Mubawumia chi ni MPP aban na chi say aban no e de contract ma ni nuanom ene ne ma na ho ahwan and ye nyina enim so Okudzeto ade ma akwa Okudzeto e de eye ma NDC ba power ni say ade cha ade ese bia na Okudzeto ko fa document obi ni be bia na ofa free na ode abegu Twitter ene yes sa na Okudzeto asema ya no ka pa ne say na na dan ko kufu ado aban no se contract bi ba na se e wo se ode contract de o se u kan e ma Ghana ni bia o ti news ana so ye bia ne nsaka ne oti se contract aba na ka Ghana ni yen fan se aban ba be si school dan a e o se aban na so se obesi school dan na Ghana for mo ye mesin for no mo bi companies a o mbetimi asidan na obi a de proposal aba na aban na hwe proposals na ba no choose best contract ye na wafa na afi o makosi school dan eno ne friend competitive bidding ba de ba kwa no Okudzeto ablakwa de bo MPP aban ni se contract bana se MPP aban ni ebe award contractor on friend ni pardon mo mama ne ono a ni pem no de akwhye nipa ba akonsa de friend no single source procurement no na se on biemu mo amanfo me pribi ono a tam contract na no de amanipa ba ako and Ghana ye mrem no even though ye mra na ma ho kwan se contract bi wonum na se company ba ako pe bi ne betima ye nko ane afama no ba se enye company ba ako ne betima ye ni o company bebre o betima ye o man mu a mane metwa monti no obi a mfa ne team emewuram bi ni ye mpre do obewe ne no wawe ne Okudzeto kikan nsem we nyina na eja Ghana 14 no mkoto aba ema NDC ntini adwinze NDC abaye de ade MPP ye yombo machide omu nyebi and obi tse Okudzeto ablakwa de enko nka na no ntum because se oye ma MPP NDC abaye so onye ba se free se NDC baye Okudzeto ablakwa miana no din bepem de ye ntenenka na eno na ati for 18th March ya ena me no ka say 22nd March 18th March there's about 4 days ago. Letter be a boy pim or finance minister asoye a case a lot of Forson. Na for contract and annual DA pa $1.7 million. Na so she contract no man na so she krata na beto dwani ma oti mu se Ghana ban na opese wodi dwuma bi. Na Ghana ban dwuma wodi ni se or install ICT ho niema ewo I think say Ministry of Finance ato force ministry omo de ICT ho niema bi ba o na ho niema no ana eja ato force na kota company ba ako and ono and the contract na hye ne say every company no Mrs. Ostek Limited. Mrs. Ostek Limited. Yes, ane ye the contract na hye ne nsa. Na ska twitwiri dia ekoho no share contract no $1.7 million. If I would remember total figure na yen kan letter na ba from the Public Procurement Authority na track rata you come at Forson. So mama na approval say onko di juma na PPA boss no wi amebo ni din na wahu say ono so NDC say NDC buy there aban company bia omina na dawo. Request for approval to use single source procurement method to engage Mrs. Ostek Limited for the implementation of middleware solution. In Tiato Force in Trail Ten Command, PPA, Public Procurement Authority say, or per se, or use one company pay. I a friend of Ostek Limited. Na Ostek Limited, ebe di jumashun kubi our finance ministry on. Inti no je permission a free Public Procurement Authority say, Public Procurement Authority eman or no ato force in hokwan. Na fa company be a friend Ostek emedi djuma wo no ato force in the ministry hall na e kali nyina be $1.7 million. We refer to your letter blah 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 dated 17th March 2025 on the subject matter. Ato force in trail letter no call Public Procurement Authority say opeso issue company Ostek as a single source. Na the chin sharp 18th March and a PPA board to the buy out to force it. Yapene konekoye. It's evil. Out to force in trail letter on the 17th March and the comma PPA. A dear chi sharp and a PPA boss which come out to forces. Oh, famano. For contract in man. Okay. At the SSRT Management Committee meeting number 3 held on Monday, 17th March 2025, the committee granted approval to Ministry of Finance in accordance with Section 10(1)(d) of Act 663 as amended to use the single source procurement method to engage Mrs. Ostek Limited for the implementation of middleware solution at a total cost not exceeding $1,708,609.69 per the details below. I think for me, so what a crater and I say yes. Indeed, PPA force or call meeting at the force in tray let an 16th March or call meeting 16th March and call meeting a PPA call in Chrome say or mama to force in Hokwan so uncle for company a friend Ostek and May ICT Humana no can or Ministry of Finance. Now or more sharp to force and say my contract no bro $1.7 million. Now or much rich them and near ma or more pesa to force in a year. And as I to force in call the budget no come on say no be here until mama approval. Now she name on Ben or Minister of Finance or company nebe. Outstanding balance on IBM service and Oracle licenses and $466.297. So $456,000. Yes, and we IBM service where ICT service you fear connect cables near that. And no at forces will be two more licenses. And we $456,000. After inception report inquire $122,000. After solution design $122,000. User acceptable test user acceptable test test no and also say $244,000 $244,462. After go live certificate also say $488,924. After operational acceptance certificate and also say $122,200 $231. And a financial acceptance certificate. And also $122,231. And a Fortinet firewall. And also a $30,000. Until you can boma na say total no $1,708,609.70. I said this approval is valid up to 31st December 2025. So the contract number to Forson. If we any match to December in a contract valid ever. Because I say please ensure that all documentation regarding this procurement is appropriately kept to facilitate future procurement and tax audit. And also you are reminded to post the contract award notice on the public procurement website, blah, 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 blah. We count on your usual cooperation. The Honorable Minister, Minister of Finance, attention, Eva Iselba Mens, Honorary Chief Director, signed Frank Mante, Chief Director. PPA boss, your friend of Frank Mante. Onuna a share letter we ekoma to force say wagia to ato force in corner onko fast can chuchi $1.7 million and from my company a friend of Okudzeto Limited on on farm on penny company be in free chain and to for the free ato force na so e ba no ye hwe Okudzeto abla kwa say ordinary no be to nsem because o say tama no say MPP aban etam contract a omo magana for mbebede na omo ko afa contract no nti ehwe ni mu say ato force nso the contract nko a eba bema Okudzeto Limited na ngasa e hwan repair me be hu nipa kra Okudzeto Limited e dia teti for the free ato force ne finance ministry aso e betu dwani.
I am just reminding the party that this is a party that we fought for freedom of speech. We had our flag bearer, once flag bearer and once president, walk on the streets of Ghana, demonstrating the Ghanaians should be allowed to speak. And it's a constitutional right, freedom of speech. Who started speaking? Our General Secretary. Who started speaking after we lost the election? He was going everywhere, explaining. He went to the extent of telling people that nobody should blame him for the election, what we lost. He went on radio saying that His Excellency, the President Nana Akufo-Addo, wasn't listening to them at cabinet. That is what Kodua went on radio to say. And what? Now it's Adwoa Safo and what? You are issuing a statement. What locus does he have? You were on radio, and if he wants to write a letter, a love letter to me, he should write that love letter. This is so general, and I don't think it's a general statement I want to respond to. But you started the game. He should go on social media and see how the party people are bashing him. He has an election coming up. He shouldn't allow himself to be manipulated and used for other people's cause. If you have an election coming up and your party base is bitter, and they want a voice to speak for them. What I'm doing, I want to clarify something. I'm a lawyer. I've read that statement. I am not discussing party issues here. There has been a character assassination on me. I have been defamed by my own party. And I have a duty owed to myself to clarify, to set the record straight, to strip them off. That whatever they painted me, however they painted me, to bring me down, it's not what it was. It's not what it is.
Naturally, people.
Those members who were telling us at that time that they were revolting the choice of speakership for Professor Michael Quay, were telling us that if we don't do what they want, they will go in there and vote against him. And during the setting, they would allow leadership to come close.
Right.
But other members will not come close. So we were closer and we saw exactly what was happening. During the sorting, things were happening. And something had to be done. And that thing was done. At the end of the day, that was around 4 a.m.
Right. I was in Parliament then.
And you know, the hula baloo that resulted from all this voting process. And then, considering the time at the time, we had finished all this around 4 a.m. And you know the procedure of Parliament.
Right.
The new Parliament must sit. We must elect a clerk, elect a speaker and his deputies. They have to swear in members of Parliament. Sometimes, you know, we don't even go home to sleep.
Yeah.
We march straight from there to Independence Square. And that is specifically in our 1992 Constitution, because we cannot create a vacuum that could cause any coup d'etat when there's no, you know, executive occupation of the sea. And so at the time, leaders there were like 4 a.m. If we have to line up every member of Parliament, 275, to cast a vote again and count and declare a speaker, we'll go into the next day and that vacuum will be created. So there was no declaration of results for speakership. That you can say Adwoa Safu's own was the one that was given to Babing and Speaker Babing, and that is why Speaker Babing. There was no. They should tell me if they want declaration. There was a declaration, and I voted for Okwe against Okwe. Okwe Nyaseng.
I remember I spoke to.
So they made it was a consensus. We agreed amongst ourselves, both sides. So that given the circumstances, technically, let's give.
Babing was not elected.
You know it.
Yeah, I remember I spoke to Samuel Atachan, who said that per the NDC's calculation, they had come with figures that they had won by more than 5 votes from MPs, meaning some MPP MPs, more than one, voted for Speaker Babing to become Speaker of Parliament. And the claim is that you may have been one of those who voted against the president's choice.
At the time, Elton, at the time we had a national security minister, right? We had security agencies in this country. Right?
Yes.
They should come tell us how many yes and how many no's that even out of the ones that were destroyed, they were able to capture. Was it more? It was, I'm telling you on authority, it was more than 2. It was more than 3. It was more than 5.